We arrived in the Orkneys on the 24th of June, entering Stromness via the Sound of Hoy. Tide flows at up to 8 knots through the Sound and forms severe overfalls on the ebb against prevailing westerly winds. The marina is just past the ferry terminal, and they share toilets, showers, etc. The older houses are mostly made of local sandstone, which are rendered and painted grey, giving them rather a drab appearance. Many of them are now having the rendering removed and more modern waterproofing applied, which gives them a more mellow appearance. All the waterfront houses seem to have small quays and derricks, although nowadays their prime function seems to be as washing lines. The roads within the town typically have paving at the sides and cobbles in a central strip. Although there is still an active fishing fleet, there is probably a bigger industry running diving trips to the remnants of the scuttled German Grand Fleet in Scapa Flow. We tried to hire a car in Stromness, but the one supplier was only prepared to let its one car out for a week at a time. So we caught a bus to Kirkwall, which was a much bigger town with plenty of cars for hire. St Magnus's Cathedral was begun in 1137 by the Norwegian Earl Ronvald. Between 1154 and 1472, Orkney was ecclesiastically under the Norwegian Archbishop of Trondheim, and only after that did it become part of the Scottish province of St Andrews. Whilst in Kirkwall, we bought a combined visitors pass to the major tourist attractions on mainland Orkney, and started with the Bishop's Palace, which was built at around the same time as the cathedral. The ancient palace was originally a two-storey hall house. Little of the first floor hall remains, but the ground level is still largely intact. The defensive round tower was added later, around 1542. On December the 15th, 1263, King Haakon IV of Norway passed away here. He had lately arrived from his failed expedition to the Firth of Clyde to try and maintain control over the West Isles that had ended ignominiously at the Battle of Largs. In the late 16th and early 17th centuries, Orkney was under rule of the Stuart family. First Earl Robert, an illegitimate son of King James V of Scotland, and then his son Patrick. They are alleged to have forced the Orcadians under their rule to work without pay on their palaces, jailing or torturing those who did not comply with their wishes. Work on the Kirkwall Palace started in 1570 and was completed in 1607, but shortly afterwards Patrick Stewart was arrested and work completing the final complex had to be abandoned. Patrick's son Robert rebelled, but he was hanged in Kirkwall and Patrick guillotined in Edinburgh. After Patrick's execution in 1615, the Earl of Morton took over the palace, before it became the residence of the Orkney bishops. By 1705, the palace had fallen into disrepair and was no longer fit for habitation. By 1745, the roof had been stripped and the slate sold. The structure has remained roofless ever since.